4, 3. Hi, welcome to the Signatures and Finishes podcast. I'm your host, D.S. Walt. And yes, the countdown went so fast. And I'm drinking a bottle of water. Was not prepared. But that's in there says, welcome to the show. On today's show, we have a lot to talk about. Raw. There were the King and Women, the King and Queens, King of the Ring tournament started. I know, man, I'm off my game right now. And New Japan was sold, which I just didn't want to prepare for that. And I'm really surprised. And the things that this is a segment that we just came up with by like 30 seconds ago before we came on here. The things we like and dislike in pro wrestling. Mainly the company that starts with a W, who we quote unquote really don't like that much right now because they do a lot of things that just don't make sense. So let's start with the Clash in Italy. Then we're going to move into Raw because it seems that they just don't understand. But hey, what can we do? What can we do to help these guys understand that the storyline you're telling is so boring and it's so whack and it's so complacent that it's the same thing we seen back in 2024, 2023.
So to make them understand kind of goes with what we were finishing on with the last show. Stop giving them money. You want them to understand, you stop giving them money. I intentionally don't watch Raw while it's airing. I don't watch SmackDown while it's airing. Because if you look at the way the Nielsen ratings are set up now, for live entertainment, you don't get credit for recorded shows. So I basically don't want to let them have, even though I'm just one single number, I just make sure that the recording finishes and then I go back and watch it recorded. And on Netflix, it's kind of hit or miss whether they're going to count you or not if you watch it as a rewatch and not live. But for SmackDown, I don't ever watch SmackDown while it's live. I wait for the recording to finish and then I just go back and watch it. But yeah, you just don't give them money. It's like any sports team or anything like that. You stop giving them money, they have to change what they're doing and figure out why people don't want to partake.
I think this goes deeper than not giving them money. What we've seen since last Saturday was that we seen the pay-per-view fan matches, and we seen a pay-per-view on Saturday who has probably the best match of 2026. AEW got the best pay-per-view of 2026 so far. We've seen the best match in 2026. To me, it was kind of like it was The Undertaker versus Triple H. What The Undertaker did at Triple A in that mass versus mass match, it kind of sums everything up as far as what's going on in WWE. The Undertaker gave the match that everybody wanted, but everybody wanted on Raw, SmackDown, or at the PLE. That mass versus mass match, we got a beginning, we got a middle, we got an ending, we had a plot, we had some blood, we had fans going crazy, standing on their hands, we had the atmosphere. And let me say this, in that match, hey Jamie, did you hear any pumped up crowd noise in that match?
No, Triple A can't afford to pay for pumped up crowd noise.
Precisely, but did you hear anybody? Did you hear?
No, it was real. It was authentic.
Yeah, and I'm not just talking about that match. I'm just talking about the entire pay-per-view period.
Well, that's Triple A's always a passionate crowd. It's like doing matches in Puerto Rico. They just love pro wrestling. Why does the WWE never go to Puerto Rico? They want to
Maybe
talk
one
about
time in
expanding
Puerto
their
Rico.
brand. Oh, we want to expand the brand to do all this. Triple H and his asinine comments. Oh, we're the USA's greatest export. No, all your talent is basically imported from around the world. So shut up with that. But you don't go to Japan. You don't go to Puerto Rico. If it wasn't for you buying AAA, you don't go to Mexico. Those are three of the biggest countries in the world for pro wrestling. And you have nothing to do with any of it if you didn't buy AAA. And secondly, show your love to Chad Gable because now you'll never see him again. He's done his best work and he's too short. Triple H is a size queen, just like Vince McMahon was. Chad Gable's basically done.
I have seen Jeff Dredd put out a video. He says something on the terms of, I'm Chad Gable, I will lead the WWE. Because right now, you put on one of the best matches in all professional wrestling.
I've said for years, Chad Gable's like the best wrestler they have.
And the reason why he said that, done him because of that, is because he's a lightning in the bottle. He knows that the WWE is not going to use him in the way he should be used. If he once he because he's going to go back to the main roster.
Well, you have
he's
to.
Going to be slotted right back into mid card, not in the main event scene.
No, he's going to go into the lower mid card. He's not even going to get the mid card. He's going to get paired up with Otis and Tozawa again.
Oh, but no, he still has the Creed brothers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about them too. Yeah.
He has the Creed brothers. And
how dare I forget about the Creed brothers?
How dare you? And they're going to be in the mid card. They're going to do a faction. Ivy now still out there doing her bodybuilding thing. When she comes back,
she's crushing it, by the way.
Yeah, she lost.
Absolutely,
even though she lost her competition this past weekend, but I think she won like 2 others.
Yeah, I was gonna say she won like 2 weeks ago and like destroyed everybody.
Yeah. Once they get back to the main roster, whether Raw, SmackDown, they're going right back to the mid card level. They're not going to carry that momentum that he has gained when he was in Triple H, being the original Americano. It's going to evaporate. And if I'm Chad Gable, I think I'll listen to the advice that Jeff Jarrett gave, and I'll try to find my exit.
I just want you to WWE. Just think about it. You started this whole storyline with Chad Gable about this whole I want to be a luchador and learn from the luchadors thing with Dominic Mysterio. You showed those two talking. You showed him go down to Mexico in your little vignette things, blah, 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 blah. Chad Gable ends up getting hurt. You have Ludwig Kaiser come in. And you put him into this role as basically like some sort of punishment for something, God knows what. Put him in this terrible role that he's basically forced to succeed in. You might as well just give him a mop and call him Perry Saturn again. But you put him in this joke role. He actually starts to make something out of it. Gets hurt. You throw Ludwig Kaiser in there to do the exact same thing. Chad Gable comes back and actually gets people to care about the two characters again. You build up this entire thing in your smaller promotion. As of right now, it's probably match of the year. Willing to bet 2 guys in AEW are going to put their heads together to make sure they put something together better than that. Not necessarily that they will, but somebody's going to absolutely try. And it was guaranteed that you were going to lose because Ludwig Kaiser is so over. And as we talked about before.
Yeah, the fans at Triple A, Mexico, they love Ludwig Kaiser.
And I feel bad because that is the height of your career. Right now is the exact pinnacle. You might win the AAA Mega Championship.
Yeah,
he will because he's so big down there. But that is going to be the height of your career.
Yeah.
Chad Gable, you've already hit the pinnacle of what WWE is going to do for you. Chad Gable and one other person I'll talk about later most likely will be in AEW at this time next year.
They took this story was not supposed to be a story. This story just became the story out of nowhere because
they're that good.
Because Chad Gable out with an injury. Ludwig Kaiser put the mask on. Chad Gable came back from his injury with the mask on. He didn't come back as Chad Gable. And they built this up to a story.
Now, again, it's a great story. It's paid off for both of them. Chad Gable, sorry, you're about to get run over by a truck. I'm sure he probably already knows that. But just think if Ludwig Kaiser could have been given the same ability to do something with Ludwig Kaiser in WWE.
What you mean, like on Raw, SmackDown? I think he would have killed it.
Exactly. Well,
Just
I'm
being
saying not
himself.
even just be yourself, but go do something. Like, here's a storyline for you. Go accomplish something on Raw or SmackDown. Make Gunther actually look like the monster that we tell people that he's supposed to be. And then go be the Intercontinental Champion so that you have the World Heavyweight title and the Intercontinental title. Build yourself up enough that you have that big payoff match, like you had your mask versus mask match. Have your World Championship match against Gunther. Take the title from him. Make
Yeah,
yourself the face. He
yeah.
could run with it, but they're never going to do that because they're not smart enough to do that.
No, I
This
think
was forced on them, and even giving Undertaker credit for it, Undertaker got control of it when this story was 75% done.
yeah, he just the 25% just made that same 5% better.
Yeah. Hey, we basically don't have a choice but to do a mask versus mask match, so I'm going to take all the credit for it now.
Yeah.
Like,
it's ironic how they gave Luka Kaiser a shot, right? And he didn't fail at it. He was battling for the IC title, and he was battling Braun Breaker. I think he was battling Sami Zayn for it.
it was Sheamus, Rusev, and
No, it wasn't Rusev.
Or no, it was Ludwig Kaiser, Sheamus,
Braun Breaker, and Sami Zayn.
Oh yeah, Braun Breaker, yeah, before he got his push.
And look, he was killing it. I mean, he wasn't backing down. He was being aggressive. He was taking out folks. He was getting speared, but he was getting right back up. He was dishing out the punishment just much he was taking it. Luka Kaiser was showing that mean streak that we all wanted to see, that we knew he had in him. But then create a change. So now he's in Triple A, one of the best matches. The man is over, big time over. You can say if you combine Triple H, Raw, SmackDown, he is by far the most over superstar in the company.
Nah,
right now, and he's the hottest.
For his money.
He's the hottest. I mean, look,
Danhausen's got that whole New York Knicks thing that just fluke happened to him. That's carrying him. That dude's the hottest thing they have right now. Okay, but Ludwig would be a second.
He's not in the ring wrestling.
No, right? You don't want to see Danhausen wrestle.
No, right. So that's what I'm preferring as like, yo, this man with the character he's playing is hot right now in the company. Really hot. Oh, I mean, you can make a case that if he can stay in Triple A, he can go to the main roster, and they should have put the IC title or the United States title on him just because how hot he is right now. I mean,
yeah, but with all their pay cuts,
roster, he will still get that same type of reaction.
There's no way I'm doing WWE any favors. If I'm already having to carry this company down here, I'm not coming up there to also wrestle double duty with half the pay.
No. Well, shoot. I mean, heck. I mean, Dom Mysterio was doing it.
That's Dom Mysterio.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he was doing that. But I'm just saying. No. I mean, I'm just saying like that's how hot he is. And I mean, look, both guys. Look, there was no loser in that match. Because you have to figure that whoever win or lose, the way that match turned out, both guys was going to come out winners.
Well, the sad part is you knew who was going to win. We talked about it months ago on one of the shows that Ludwig Kaiser had to win. The problem is Chad Gable's going to go back to doing nothing until his contract is up. And the sad part is Kurt Angle has come out multiple times and said he would love to manage Chad Gable. If you brought Kurt Angle back, that would instantly give him an upper mid-card level shot. He'd at least become the IC champ and work his way into the title picture. There's no reason you couldn't have Kurt Angle back, and it would only make sense.
Yep. Chad gave a lot of credit at the end of the match where he said he wants to come back and he wants to wrestle in Triple A. He enjoyed his time there, and he loves the fans there. He introduces the fans to his family, and I mean, if I'm Chad Gable, what's the point of going back to Raw and SmackDown? I can stay down here. I have something to do. I will be on YouTube. I will be important down here compared to just be on the main roster where I'll either gonna be in catering or I'm gonna be flirting the mid-card level.
Or you say, AEW just gave Darby Allin, who's 150 pounds, 2 world title runs in a couple months. I can out wrestle this guy any day of the week. I'm jacked to all hell. I'm short, but I can toss around basically anybody in AEW. There's no reason I can't go be the world champ over there.
I'm talking about as far as why he's under WWE contract.
And he's probably going to get released in a couple months when they do their winter releases. He's probably going to get released.
Yeah. So I'm based off right now. He's under the
yes. Right now he's going to be hanging out in catering.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. As of right now, if I'm him, I'd rather be in AAA and just killing it.
If there's anybody that knows how to cool you off on a hot streak, it's WWE. Don't you think that if you just had the match of your career right now, that you might have your guys show up on Raw?
Haven't seen
maybe him. Exactly.
Haven't seen him.
Exactly. No. We're going to show you highlights and the match was so good. We're going to give you Raw or SmackDown. We're going to give you an automatic replay of the match after I think SmackDown ended. Today's Wednesday. So it was after Raw. We're going to automatically air the match again as soon as Raw goes off the air. But you couldn't have the dude show up on Raw to start a new feud with anybody? Like, come on. It's just like Oba. Oba, hey, you beat Brock. So now we're going to have you come out and do an open challenge and not do anything. You're going to come out, and then the following week, we're going to say, hey, there's nobody here to challenge you, so go beat up two of the smallest guys that you can find. And do that for 2 weeks until Brock comes back and destroys you.
Right. And before we get to Oba, because I know you got a lot to say. We talked about Ray Phoenix. And we talking about the War Raiders. How they just sitting back there, they got nothing to do. How they just sitting back there, and you talk about how you want to fix the tag team division.
They come out and publicly say, hey, we're actively trying to fix the tag team division. And your biggest tag team, as far as like size and power wise, is sitting down in AAA.
Sit down in AAA.
And half of your most talented tag team is sitting down in AAA in Ray Phoenix.
And what happened? The War Raiders, they beat Pagano and Psycho Clown for the AAA tag team titles. As soon as you sent them down there, they won the tag team titles. Ray Phoenix, who is the most decorated luchador in your company other than Rey Mysterio, who was a heavyweight champion, who is by far probably the best luchador wrestler in the company, who you sent to SmackDown, who you wanted it, who you gave this nice, beautiful entrance, this nice presentation. You did nothing with him after Andrade left. Hey, he went to AAA.
And because you can't have Ray Phoenix show up Dragon Lee, because Rey Mysterio is the one that said that Dragon Lee is the future of luchador. So we can't have anybody come in that looks like a better luchador than Dragon Lee.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm just saying that's their logic. Yeah, I like Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee is very good. Ray Phoenix is just that good.
Thank you. He's just better. He went down to AAA and beat the Laredo Kid, become the new AAA World Cruiserweight Champion. But you had nothing for this guy on the main roster. And Dragon Lee is on Raw. Ray Phoenix on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
And you telling me that you had nothing for him on SmackDown, of all shows, SmackDown, you got nothing for him. This guy is not even sitting in catering. You had this guy sitting in the parking lot. You had nothing for him. Undertaker gave him a call. He goes down to AAA, get his rematch with Laredo Kid, and becomes the AAA World Cruiserweight Champion.
What you're going to see happen is you're going to see releases from AAA, and you're going to see more WWE guys going down to AAA. There's already been backstage things that have been reported on that basically wrestlers from both shows, from SmackDown and Raw, have both been reaching out to try and get the Undertaker to pull them down there. And that was like 2 weeks ago. Problem is airtime.
No.
They're not a routine show that you're going to have consistent airtime on. SmackDown, like we've talked about, is losing an hour, I think, this week. Does it start this week? Yeah. So they're back to 2 hours. So that's theoretically, you'd say, oh, no, it shouldn't hurt him too much because that's just commercial time for the most part that we're going to be losing. You average 3 to 4 matches and like 5 promo segments a show.
Yeah. So
they're not going to cut the commercials.
Yeah. So if these wrestlers, hey, look, I got nothing against the main roster wrestlers. They not at fault for not getting the time they need. But if they want more airtime, more wrestling time, go to NXT or tell your bosses come out their pockets and just bring back WCW and we can go ahead and just cut this rating.
Well, the problem is they don't want to go back to NXT because the NXT contracts, Ridge Holland, before he left, even talked about it. They have NXT money. Finn Balor talked about it too. When he went back, he had to change his contract. He got NXT money. He didn't get to keep his Raw contract that he had to go to NXT. Since he was an NXT wrestler at that point, he was making, I think Ridge Holland said he was making $60,000 a year when he went back to NXT. Like, I mean, $60,000's okay, but when you're used to making like $250, $60,000's a huge drop. So a lot of those guys aren't going to be going back down there. It's one thing if, Becky Lynch goes down or Bayley goes down for a match or two, or Seth Rollins goes down to wrestle Braun Breaker or something as like a showcase match. But those guys aren't willingly going to go to NXT because it's too much of a pay cut.
Yeah, well, you know what? Bring back WCW, then all this will be worked out.
And not to mention the guys that they're calling up, they're keeping on NXT contracts.
Yeah, I know. Smart business decision.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's smart in the short term. Yeah. Long term is there's no more money in WWE. WWE is not going to attract the talent that they were before. You're not going to get the already established talent. You're going to get a bunch of NIL people, the Sol Rucas of the world. And when Sol Ruca realizes, hey, I can go over to AEW and make $7 million a year when I'm getting $800,000 here, why am I going to stay here? This is a very short-term plan that's going to backfire on them big time, and the fact that they're too dumb to see it just blows my mind.
Yeah. One more thing before we get to Oba. One thing we got to address. During this weekend, WWE slid this in. They announced it to Monday. Finn Balor was traded to SmackDown. Don't know who he was he traded for. We don't know yet. Maybe he was traded for Drew McIntyre. We don't know.
Future picks and cash compensation is,
Yeah, so he will debut on SmackDown this Friday.
I mean, Sami Zayn got traded and they didn't get anybody in return.
Right. Allegedly,
I don't know why they still try and give this illusion that it's like two separate things. Just say you moved him over to SmackDown and call it a wrap.
Yeah. Allegedly, he'll debut on Friday. And also, along that line, Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest, all on the same show. Anyhow, you want to talk about Oba?
Well, first, I would just like to say, even though I hate on him a lot, Cody can wrestle in the ring. How good would a Cody Finn Balor title match be?
Listen, wasn't trying to allude to that, but my mind was already there that Cody needs opponents. So, yeah.
As far as Oba, by this time next year, there's a high likelihood Oba's going to be in AEW.
Why you say that?
Well, if you look at anybody that's halfway paying attention to what's going on, if I'm Oba Femi, you've already given me basically the second biggest guy in your company as far as top tier threat level popularity status. You've already given me Brock Lesnar. The only person that you can give me at this point that's going to be, if anybody wants to call it a 1-up or at least a 1A to 1, would be Roman Reigns. Past that, there's nobody in the company that's even worth a damn for him to wrestle. So he's basically already hit his ceiling, realistically. He can go over to AEW, literally day one become the face of the entire company for the next 10 years minimum. A whole fresh crowd of guys that he could run through. And he'd probably be champ within the first month that he's there. And not to mention making way more money than WWE is going to give him. And
Nobody doesn't know the length of his contract right now.
it ends
But,
on December 31st.
oh, it ends on December 31st.
That's why I said by the end of the year.
Is
He was
wait,
also at
wait a
the
minute,
very
wait a
first
minute,
All In.
wait a minute,
He's a
wait
huge
a minute.
AEW fan. He's admitted that.
Mhm. Wait a minute here. If you put that together, was it like back a few months ago where the date dirt sheets came out and said, "Hey, Roman versus Oba is going to be end of the year in December." For the title. His contract runs out December 31st.
Mm-hmm.
No contract extension has been talked. It hasn't been
If
rumored or reported.
I'm Obafemi, I will take that up to the last hour because at the rate that it's going, I'm going to be the biggest thing you have. And just basically hold WWE, just bend them over for everything that you could take them for at this point. Because they're out there trying to screw everybody. You might as well try and take them for everything, or just, hey, I'll walk. I have a new contract in 90 days.
Well, if his contract ends in December 31st, he can join AEW at any time.
Mm-hmm.
He don't have to do it on 90 days.
That's true, yeah, because he's not getting released, so his contract would just be up. 100%.
Just be up.
I would immediately. That's going to draw TV ratings for you. That's going to do everything that you need to do to go where you're trying to go. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm getting in Obafemi's ear now. I'm going to stay in his ear constantly. I'm getting in Chad Gable's ear because that's two guys right there. Again, we talked about it on a show with Aleister Black. Yeah, their locker room doesn't want him back, but that's short-sighted. You need to bring in the one person that can start bringing in other people and get your company looked at a different level that's going to bring eyes over there. If you bring Obafemi to AEW, that's going to bring eyes over there.
Chad Gable signed a 3-year contract back in 2024. So he has 1 year left on his contract.
He's probably getting released, let's be honest.
He signed that contract just ahead of his Intercontinental Championship match at the Clash at the Castle.
Yeah, they probably promised him he was going to win, and then, oh, hey, we had a creative change, so you're actually going to lose now that we got you under contract. Yeah, that was when they kept piping up, oh, he might actually win the Intercontinental title. And then I think they had Sami Zayn win. Wasn't it Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable?
It was Sami Zayn versus Gunther.
No.
It was Chad Gable.
Yeah.
It was Chad Gable. So
that's when I was like, okay, this dude just lost to Sami Zayn. There's no hope for his career here.
Yeah. So the reason he signed back is because he chose to resign because of the creative trajectory and the consistent television opportunities he received under WWE head of creative Triple H.
And look at your creative since then. You were in a complete lackluster Alpha Academy with 2 nobodies. You then do American Made with 2 nobodies. You got hurt. You had El Grande Americano as you're being punished for something. You actually turned it into something. Now that's done for you. So you're going to go back to being a nobody. They're probably going to leave the Creed brothers in AAA, which means you're going to be on Raw by yourself, and they'll somehow pair you back up with Otis and Tozawa. So pray that you get released and go to AEW. If Darby Allin could be your world champ multiple times, Chad Gable would dominate over there.
We'll see what happens with Chad Gable. If he's going to be released or he's going to let his contract
But either way,
next year.
There's a high likelihood Oba winds up in AEW. And it's kind of like you can't fault a college player if they're good enough to go to the NFL after 1 year. You make your money when you're young because you don't know how long you can do it. If Tony Khan's offering stupid money and you know you're going to go be the world champ there because you're the biggest thing they've got in the company, you go.
We will see. All of this speculation, just our basic opinion.
I'm putting it out there. That's what's going to happen.
We'll see. We'll see, because I do believe that they're going to do all they can to re-sign Oba and do all they can to keep him. Now, I don't know what they're going to promise. It definitely can't be money because, hey, don't pay cuts.
Well, that's what I'm saying is all you have to do is look around. You look at what they promise people and what they deliver on.
Yeah.
If people stop looking at the WWE as this is their dream job, which I think a lot of them have, and look at it as this is a job. Yeah, I'm doing what I love, but this is a job. I need to go where I can be maximized doing what I love. WWE's in for a rude awakening with talent. They're going to have to keep farming the NIL people because getting actual talented guys that already have experience doing this, it's going to be harder and harder to do. Because taking a 50% pay cut, what was the justification? Hey guys, our TV numbers are down. We're pulling in half of what we used to. We can't afford to pay you. We're not bringing in advertising money. No. It was so that Ari Emanuel could give himself a pay raise, so that they could give Nick Khan a pay raise, so that they could give Triple H a pay raise. The same people dragging your company down are the ones telling you you have to make less so that they can make more.
Hey, don't forget, they're using the WWE.
Oh, and Mark Shapiro's stupid ass to pay off UFC.
To pay off the UFC. Yeah, that's bad.
One thing you like about Brock looks at it like a job. Two of my favorite wrestlers never looked at WWE or WCW as like, oh, I have to be here. Psycho Sid was very open. It's just business opportunities. He would jump back and forth between WWF, WCW. Whoever was giving him the most money for the shortest term, that's what he would take. That's why in the mid-90s, you saw him bouncing back and forth. Him and Rick Rude were bouncing back and forth like crazy because they were signing short-term deals, making a ton of money, bouncing back and forth. Brock Lesnar, same thing. He doesn't sign long-term deals. He started signing per-appearance deals or very short-term 3-month program deals, making buku money. That's the way you got to use WWE the way they're using talent. The fact that there's still not a wrestlers union, like when are these people going to wake up? Like you are getting used by the WWE. And because the WWE does it, everybody else does it. Tony Khan's still at fault as well. He's complicit along with every other booker and owner of every promotion. How is there not a wrestlers union? You call these guys independent contractors. Now, Tony Khan, you do let your guys operate as an independent contractor. WWE does not. You're listed as an independent contractor, but you are exclusive to their company. You can't go work for, hey, I'm going to go do a Maple Leaf show. Hey, I'm going to go do a Major League Wrestling show. Can't do that. They have to get special permissions to go do something in Japan. Like, what was it? Whose retirement match? And they wouldn't let Shinsuke Nakamura go. And it was just a retirement ceremony. I'm drawing a blank.
It was the president of New Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Tanahashi.
Yeah, they wouldn't let Shinsuke go for a retirement ceremony. Tell him to wear a WWE t-shirt.
Yeah. So let's get to Clash of Italy real quick.
Terrible.
Real quick. We're just going to mention it and just say this. Clash of Italy, far as match-wise, were not bad. I mean, it was good. But the overall pay-per-view was not good. And let me tell you why. See, they got off to a bad start when we seen Cody versus Gunther. And when you have, and like I said, nothing against Cody, it doesn't make sense for Cody to go over Gunther, especially that messed up finish that we seen. You basically took your number one heel, took him to SmackDown. He cut a killer promo, in which he's not strong at doing promos.
I know, it's like the best promo he's cut, period.
Yes. He is your best wrestler. That's your Chad Gable. And Ray Phoenix. This guy put on a hell of a match. Everything was set for him to win, and you just didn't pull the trigger. And it was free on ESPN. That's even the worst part. It was free on ESPN.
I'm willing to bet that's why they didn't let Gunther win, is because it was on the free hour of Clash in Italy. There's no rhyme or reason why you don't have your supposed, what they call their top heel in the company, win the title. You've now had Gunther lose. For this guy being so dominant as a heel of what you say he is, you've had him lose clean twice to Cody.
And not only that, that match, if I remember correctly, maybe I'm wrong, but I could be right. That match was less than 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You gave Jade Cargo and Rhea Ripley a 26-minute match.
Yeah, that match was way too long.
Shout out to Jade. She held her own. But damn it, Michin, really? You can't, are you that slow to put the foot on the rope?
Still looks good, though.
Whatever,
she looked good
man.
doing it.
You put, never mind. Never mind. But you gave the WWE champion a 12-minute match. And he's wrestling a guy who can freaking go, who is one of the best ring generals in the business. You gave him a 12-minute match, but you gave Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargo, who I love, I got nothing against, you gave them a 26-minute match? Really?
I would even be fine with the 26-minute match if you shortened down. The Becky Lynch Sol Ruka match could have been shorter. Congrats to Sol Ruka for not screwing up the Soul Snatcher for once. Let's get a hand for that. She one time so far in the big show, you actually hit your move.
But she did mess up though.
Oh, she did. She still messed up, but she actually hit the Soul Snatcher.
Yeah, no, I ain't talking about the Soul Snatcher. I'm talking about when Becky's on the top rope. Clear as day, you hear Becky said, other way, and she was still that way, other way. Well, I got turned around. Yeah.
And the problem with it is now is she's so unsure of herself that she doesn't even do the move as fluid as she used to. She actually climbs up on the rope or jumps up on the rope now, and she waits and she looks behind her. Like the whole effect of the move is gone. You need to get something different. It's just the way it is. But I think I said on the show the only title that was going to change hands would be the Becky Lynch one.
Yeah.
Because they're too scared. It wasn't a big enough show to move a title. That's why I don't like these Clash shows. They're just meant to like appease the overseas audience. Why anybody would pay to go to these? You're going to a glorified Raw or SmackDown.
It's overseas.
I mean, cool that Sol Ruka won. And like I said, if Gunther didn't win, basically none of the titles would change hands besides the Becky one. And what happened? None of them changed. Because they're not going to give a show like that any major title changes.
The Jacob Fatu Roman Reigns match was just another ordinary match, in my humble opinion. I had nothing against the match. Is that I knew the outcome of the match was what was going to happen. And what did I say? Once he loses, it's over. And Jacob knew it too. So when the bloodline was walking up front ahead of Jacob, and Jacob was taking his time, he glanced over the MFTs, and they're shaking his head. They're shaking their head at him. He's walking slow. What did Roman do? He taps J.A. It's over. But now let's go to Raw. But I will say this. I do see a swerve coming. And when I see a swerve, I mean I see something that's going to go down with the Usos and Jacob Fatu. I just feel it because I don't think, and I have said this, the Usos love their cousin. They love Roman. But they know what Roman's all about. And they know that Jacob is that next one, is that guy, that next one. So you don't think the Usos going to hitch their wagon to Jacob Fatu over Roman? Yes.
Well, I mean,
because it makes sense. And then you said it yourself. Roman said himself, I'm trying to change. I'm trying to do something good, do something positive. I'm trying to change myself in a different light. And to only change yourself in a different light is you have to be by yourself. It's not about being by yourself and winning matches by yourself. No, you have to be by yourself. You have to separate from your family to gain that respect, not only from the locker room, but from the fans.
Well, and that's the frustrating part is because he's actually wrestling matches by himself now and winning matches by himself. Then why do you have him in a group? Like
They don't
the
need him.
whole, they're forcing this whole thing, and there has to be a swerve coming, because if there's not, you've literally taken three of what were your main event guys or about to be main event guys and thrown them all in the same faction. It's the Don Callis family of AEW, where you're going to have to start pitting them against each other consistently because you have nobody else.
Right.
So they have to do something to kick Roman out of the group, because you're having Roman actually, the original bloodline, Roman couldn't do anything in a match without having the Usos get involved or Sami Zayn get involved. Now he's wrestling the matches by himself, but he's in a group. Makes no
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. And not only that, that swerve, I think that swerve gonna come consist of the Usos, Jacob Fatu, and the MFTs. They all might come together.
It's either going to be him taking over the whole thing, which is the only true thing that really makes sense to establish Jacob, or Roman's going to align with the MFTs and Jacob's going to have the Usos. But again, if you're going to do this thing, why isn't Nia Jax involved and actually like establishing women in the group? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. And the WWE just set up Roman next 3 feuds: Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and the MFTs. It looks like Roman is. This is like the Roman Reigns Revenge Tour that's going on right now.
And Roman's going to keep the title through all of those, which you're going to have the Clash of Champions or Night of Champions, whatever that stupid Saudi one's called that I pay no attention to.
Yeah, it's September.
But you're going to end up winding up having Cody versus Roman. Again, nobody cares. You could have had Gunther versus Roman. Talk about selling tickets. Talk about selling attention and getting people actually to care about a match that's not necessarily predictable. Now, everybody knows you've already had Cody beat Gunther in that match. They're certainly not going to let Roman lose in that match. So Gunther would then go 0 for 2 in that match. But would you rather see Roman Cody for what, the 17th time? Or would you rather see Gunther Roman?
Yeah, Gunther Roman. But the thing is, who's going to win the rubber match?
Nobody cares.
I know, but I'm saying though, like, who's going to win the rubber match? Because
the only people that care is WWE.
Because these are the 2 most protected guys in the company, so they're going to have to flip a coin on this one. And if I had to choose to say who's going to win, it'll probably be Roman. Because you're not going to let Roman lose this close to fighting Oba. In fact, I can sit here and say I think Oba is going to end up fighting Jacob Fatu just to get to Roman Reigns. You're not going to throw the Usos at him. Unless Oba going to go ahead and go to SmackDown and beat up the MFTs, that's the only logical thing that makes sense. Once he's done with Brock Lesnar, who's next?
Well, that's been my point from the beginning. Like,
so it have
Brock
to be
Lesnar match shouldn't have happened until next year.
It more likely is going to have to be Jacob.
It's going to have to be Jacob. You're going to have to throw a ton of money at Braun Strowman to get Braun Strowman to come back for like SummerSlam or something. I mean, luckily you've got Brock one more time to fill that gap. But then you got to go from SummerSlam all the way to December. Who's going to fill that gap for you? You better reach out to Braun Strowman. Or, yeah, it's going to have to be Jacob. And then again, are you going to have Jacob suffer another series of losses when he's supposed to be your next big thing?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, they don't know how to track their stars and who they're trying to elevate. They try and elevate all these guys, but then it's like they get to this wall of Roman and Cody. Well, we can't have anybody beat Roman or Cody, so we're just going to take you guys off TV for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, they caught another lucky break that Braun Breaker looks to be pretty hurt. I watched the video. The dude had to sit down. He couldn't even walk. His leg's so jacked up. So they might have caught a break with not having to book him for a while, but we'll see.
And, I think we're going to have to change our approach when it comes to WWE, because I find myself when we do this show. And no matter how hard we try to put some little, give him some little grace where, hey, that was a good match. But it always come back to all the dumb shit they do. I think we gotta start a segment called
WWE
the
fans.
the the what we should call this? Things that don't make sense starting at the WWE.
Or just WWE marks. That would work too. I mean, because we're just supposed to be all WWE all the time and love everything that they do. Then everything would make sense. Actually, just being a wrestling fan overall, WWE is a horrible thing to watch.
I seen I seen an Owen Hart match.
Ugh, don't talk about one of the greatest of all time.
I seen an Owen Hart tournament from the women's side and from the men's side, and it was Athena, and it was a great match. And I'm sitting here thinking like, damn, Tony Khan hits home runs when he does tournament matches.
Mhm.
And not only just tournament matches, but you can criticize him like, dang, Tony, why you doing it like this? Or, hey, Tony, why are you telling us who's going to be in the main event without telling us? What happened to I don't know, let everything play out. Don't tell us who's in this bracket, that bracket. Let's all let it be some type of surprise. But that's just my opinion. But when I watch the matches, man, it's like I get that old school wrestling feeling that I've been missing for a long time. And then I go over here and watch the King of the Ring. And
Well, you don't like a bunch of 4-way matches?
I seen a 4-way match where Obafemi beat Penta, Carmelo Hayes. I forgot the third guy. Slipped my mind. And it wasn't really a match. It wasn't really a match.
No.
It wasn't really a match because Oba just ran right through these
guys.
Well,
and you knew Oba was going to win. There's no way they're going to let him take 2 losses back-to-back days. So, like...
right, you knew he was going to win, but it wasn't a match. It wasn't a match because dude ran right through them. There was no wrestling involved.
Mm-hmm. Once he got up from Penta putting him through the barricade, he just came up and started no-selling everything, did all of his little heave-ho tosses and fall from grace, and that was it. And then you put the 2 best women wrestlers you have in the same match. When you look at the other brackets, some of those brackets are trash. And you put Julia and Io Sky in the same match. But yeah, you got a bracket of Kiana James. I think it's Kiana James, Bailey, and JC Jane, and I can't remember who the 4th person is. And I'm like, seriously, you couldn't put Julia or Io Sky in that match to give it some credibility? I mean, Bailey can go, but they're not going to do anything with Bailey. They've proven that.
This is worse than lazy booking, man. This is like, hey, you know what? Y'all 2 go ahead, go. Y'all 4 go ahead. Y'all 4 go ahead. What the hell? What happened to just having one-on-one matches? Why it has to be a fatal 4-way? Because
what happened
want more participants in there?
A pay-per-view back in the day. Now I get it. You got the men's and women's. Okay, so maybe you go right from a quarter or a semifinal to a final. Don't have as many brackets on it, but you could easily do just a PLE of the King and Queen of the Ring, and it would be far better than taking up all these Raws, all these SmackDowns with a bunch of 4-way matches. Like, come on.
I don't have a problem having these matches on Raw, SmackDown, but I want legit brackets. Give me in the finals Io Sky versus Julia. That's a great finals match. That's a great semifinal match. Give me Oba versus Seth Rollins in the semifinal. That'd be a great one. Or no, even better. Give me Carmelo Hayes versus Ethan Page in a semifinal match. That would be a great semifinal match. The King of the Ring should go to someone where it's going to help elevate that guy. is going to elevate that
Well,
wrestler to
yeah.
the
Look
next
at the
level.
history of people that have won it. It's that stepping stone to put them into the
Right.
main event. Booker T. Um,
Steve Austin.
I mean, yeah, Steve Austin. That's really when the Austin 316
Things
happened and
started.
really took him off. Booker T, when he really got his big push in WWE, was there. Kurt Angle, all those guys. But again, that's not even talking about who's not even in the tournament on both sides. If you look at the list on the men and women that aren't even in the tournament, it makes no sense.
That list should be either for, just hear me out, it should be either for up and coming wrestlers who trying to go out here and make a name for themselves, or mid card level wrestlers who try and get to that next level, be the main event.
Hmm?
That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. But I would never have my main event stars in the King in the Ring because they in the main event scene. They don't need that extra push, that extra
Well,
anything to win the
just
title.
remember, Liv Morgan is in the tournament. Tiffany Stratton's not in the tournament, but Liv Morgan is, who already has the women's
Who's
heavyweight
about to
title.
go on next week over 50 days as champion and no opponent. Again, to everybody who's out here who's criticizing Jay Cargill before I get off this show, Liv Morgan title run is terrible. So, and it's not her fault.
I was
Keep
gonna
that in
say
mind.
you got to
But it's
put your
not her
asterisks in
fault.
there like you did for Jade. It's not Jade's fault. It's not Liv's
Yeah,
fault.
it's not Jay's fault. It's not Liv's fault. It's the way they're booking these wrestlers, and it's the way that they're portraying their champions to look not only weak and pathetic, but make them look like they're scared to defend their title. So
I don't want to have to think of too many shows to book, so we're just not going to do anything with Liv until Stephanie's back and available to wrestle. Because God forbid we make another wrestler look good besides Stephanie Vacher right now.
God, I mean, again, it's not Liv's fault. It's not Rhea's fault. This is the hand they get dealt with. And this is what they got to deal with. You heard Rhea Ripley came out and said 3 weeks ago, yeah, I like to fight Julia. She's one of the best in the business. I'd love to have a match with her. Wow. Liv Morgan, who would you like to wrestle?
They went and changed my Julia's look up too. Not happy about it. I miss the braids.
Yeah. Hey, Liv, who you want to wrestle? Who you got? I got to be in the women's queen of the ring tournament just to get an opponent.
Well, they'd have to break up the Judgment Day basically to
It's
give her
taking
an
too
opponent.
long to do it.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. At this point, they would basically have to break up the Judgment Day just to get her two opponents. How is the Judgment Day still going? It's so dumb.
You telling me that she can't wrestle Maxine Dupree, Natty? Oh wait, no, they got Natty down NXT. I'm sorry. Lyra Valkyrie's available. Bailey's available.
Jadea Parker's available.
Jada Parker, for some reason, they keep saying she's the face of women's wrestling. She's the face of NXT, and for some odd reason,
not as a face, she's not.
They don't give her a title, and when she's supposed to get called up, they don't do it. I wonder why. But hey, I'm just a wrestling fan who just sit here just watch wrestling. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, me and Jamie, sorry we don't have enough time. Your boy has to get to the money. We'll talk more of this on Saturday afternoon at 12 o'clock. Right down here, kind of 12 o'clock my time, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. With me and Jamie got a lot more time to talk about what's going on in professional wrestling. And yes, of course, Jamie will get everybody the middle finger if you watch SmackDown. I'm just putting it out there. So please don't watch SmackDown. Do how he does it. Watch SmackDown afterwards, where you have to deal with the commercials or just watch the highlights. I can't believe I just promoted that. But hey, this is what we do. And remember, we are wrestling fans. We're not wrestling haters. We don't hate the WWE. We just hate the people who run the WWE. We love AEW because they give it the old style brand of wrestling. And yes, I'm the one who said we need to do less talk about WWE. But you know what? As long as the WWE keep putting out this bullshit, it's going to get a lot more people to talk about. So don't hate on the podcasters and the people who also, like us, point out the wrongs of the WWE. Why? Because there is no right. There is no right. And remember also, do not, I repeat, do not use their content because they will shut you down. Do like how your boy do. Just piss on it.
I mean, since you're covering all the PSAs, you have to say, like, don't try this at home, too.
Oh, yes. And remember, kids, do try this at home.
It's pretty easy. You just get in front of a camera and talk.
I mean, do content, but don't piss on the stuff. Please don't do that. But
I mean, have a bucket and just don't do it on camera.
Yeah. And remember, watch Triple A, watch AEW Dynamite tonight. If you want to be at your own risk, watch Collision on Saturday. If you really want to be at your own risk, and you just want to get out there, you feel a little froggy, watch TNA tomorrow.
I mean, I got TNA now actually recording because I actually was like, I should probably start watching it. I even set up NW. I found out that I have the Comet. Yeah, the Comet. Yeah, Comet. It's the network, Comet. I found that I have that too. So I actually have NWA set to record.
All right. I had neither one of those, but I'm going to find out how to get it. So, with that said, I'm DS Walt. That's Jamie. Like, subscribe, and share our show. Make sure you leave a comment, and we'll see you guys on Saturday. Peace.
Yep. Later.
Later.